On the 21st of December of 2020, the two huge gas giant planets of our solar system, Jupiter and Saturn, lined up perfectly in the sky. A great conjunction for the first time in 400 years since we've been able to see them like this got me thinking. Watching the two bodies just lying there in the sky, I wonder how many actual Jupiters might fit between Saturn and Jupiter. Hi everyone, Vega here, and in this video, which is an update with new audio from an older video you may remember, we're going to be using Jupiter itself to measure the solar system and beyond. So let's get to it. First of all, the diameter of Jupiter at 10 times that of Earth is enormous. At 139,000 kilometers wide, Jupiter is a Goliath of the solar system. Indeed, in Roman folklore it was the god of the sky, thunder and thunderbolts, although there are some things that are even more awesome than thunderbolts, and surely that includes space itself. So how does Jupiter measure up? In this diagram, which is a typical diagram that we might see of the solar system, the planets are often not to scale and neither are the distances. Again, the diameter of Jupiter is 139,000 kilometers, and that's actually equivalent to 0.00093 astronomical units. So we can immediately see that the astronomical unit isn't really a very good measurement for measuring Jupiter's diameter. But can we measure the solar system with Jupiter itself? Let's see. First of all, a journey from New York to London is around 5,567 kilometers. So how many Jupiters fit into that? Well, obviously it's not very many at 0.004 Jupiters, or indeed we have to travel that distance some 250 times just to arrive at one side of the huge planet to another. What about the Earth-Moon distance of 384,000 kilometers? Surely Jupiter's not all that big. Well, it's not. 2.74 Jupiters would sit between the Earth and the Moon. The Earth-Moon distance is actually quite a lot further than people often think. So how about the diameter of the Sun then, at 1,392,000 kilometers? How many Jupiters might fit into that? Well, the answer is almost exactly 10, or 9.96 to be precise. It seems quite interesting to me that the ratio between the diameter of our Earth to Jupiter is roughly 10, and then that the ratio between Jupiter and the Sun is also roughly 10. It's as if it was written in the stars, or should I say planets. How about Jupiter to Earth? It's getting quite a long way now. At an average 588 million kilometers, how many Jupiters would fit between the Earth and itself? And the answer is 4,205. You can see in the graphic here, each one of those small Jupiters adds up to exactly 4,205, so quite a few then. At the time of the conjunction in the late 2020s, the Jupiter-Saturn distance stood at some 643 million kilometers. As many as 4,598 Jupiters would fit between the two gas giant bodies, although it's not difficult to imagine the solar system's gravity might become somewhat unbalanced by that. How about Jupiter to the Sun? Some might think that Saturn's actually further from Jupiter than the Sun, but it's not actually the case. At their closest approach, Saturn and Jupiter are actually more close to each other than Jupiter and the Sun, at 674 million kilometers, and that would fit 5,464 of Jupiters, or 5 astronomical units. Let's move it up a bit now to 1 light year, or some 9.5 trillion kilometers. Now that would fit 68 million Jupiters. It seems fairly obvious now that it's losing viability as a measurement, but be that as it may, let's take it one little bit further, shall we? To the nearest star system of Alpha Centauri at 4.36 light years, I'm talking about A and B of course, it makes 294 million Jupiters between ourselves and it. If we remember that the diameter of Jupiter is 10 times that of Earth, and if we wanted to do it in the value of Earth, of course, we just have to add another zero onto the end, and that makes it nearly 3 billion Earths between Alpha Centauri and ourselves. Thanks for watching, and consider subscribing if you haven't already. Thanks to those of you that have already bought me a coffee, and if you would like to support the channel further, you could actually consider buying me a coffee, and I'll link how to do this in the description. If you have any videos or subjects that you'd like to see brought to life, don't forget to let me know in the comments below, and it could just be your idea that shows up next week. Take really good care of yourselves and look after your friends and family well, and I'll see you on the next one.